Okay. Well, that's enough of that. Just gonna stroll along through here, and then see what's in the haps. Because other than that, Oh, I've been muted the whole time. Let's fill this one up to the tippy top. Let's see if I can do 20 ounces. I feel a little bit of influence because I've been watching a lot of Matt Stoney videos, who eats a lot. I don't know how far I can go with eating. I've never tested myself with eating, but I didn't do it. I thought about doing that though. Like once I start working again, get everything like back together, just take a vacation, a couple days in a nice hotel room, something like that, and see from that hotel room, see what I can do as far as like eating goes. Because I've never tested it before. I know I have a big gut and I have a pretty big appetite, but I've never done like an eating challenge before. You know what I mean? Excited for like maybe spicy foods, but I've never done like bulk. But anyway, 20 ounces. Water still on deck. That ain't hard. Oh, yeah, oh. The thing that gets you there is like, ugh, I did it in like 3 seconds. Oof. It's the volume, I think. Ugh. Like I was talking about, I feel like eating fast might be a lot easier because you're taking less down. Like if you like picture like 20 ounces of food takes you a bit, no matter how fast you are. You know, as far as that goes, it's just like if you know how to get it down, then fuck. To prove it, this is a 25 ounce. This is the remaining of the. Might be like 7 ounces. So I probably did like 18, but maybe 17. We'll just say like a year and a half. But doing that with a something that's around 8%. Kind of want to let it sit. Reason being is because like that's a decent amount, and you want to get yourself to that level to the point where it's like, hey, you feel buzzed, but you don't feel like you're losing control. You know what I mean? For me personally, when I'm sober, I'm always on like my brain's always on the go. Even when I sleep, like I have weird dreams when I sleep. really fucking weird dreams. Um, More often than not, they're very vivid, very lucid, but I don't normally have control over everything. But at the same time, more often than not, I know it's a dream, and I know how to control dreams to an extent. But where my mind's been, I choose not to at that standard point because remember your dream from last night. And this is someone where it sounds a little bit wacky, and I understand because this is the dream that I had last night. Uh, it was again. It was about a boat. I was going on a cruise actually, and this cruise turned out to be like the boat was like a fucking monster of a boat. It was strange because the boat also had like a library, a concert area, and stuff like that. It was fucking. It was cool. I'm not gonna get stunned. It was fucking cool because there's nothing scary about it, but it was just like it's strange because like when you have these dreams, or when I have these dreams, I'm just like my mind came up with that. You know what I mean? Like I've never quite done it before, but I've always been recommended to do so. I'm literally thinking about like um, buying a book, like a diary esque book. Wake up and like try to write everything down because it happens so often. You know, and my literature is pretty par. I mean, like I'm no poet anymore, but I'm thinking maybe like, well, what happens if I just keep writing these stuff down and then show it to somebody who knows somebody? You know what I mean? Never know in this world. So I think it's fascinating. Um, and for those who don't know, I've been practicing sleep meditation for about I want to say about 8 9 years now. And I remember when I was just getting into it, and like I had no fucking idea what I was doing, but I was like, oh, what if it'd be cool if I just knew what to dream about? You know what I mean? Or try to control my dreams. Yeah, I turn on like that one. My brain's a little bit too whack. Not like in a bad way, but like in more of a way that I don't quite know myself, I guess. but yeah, that one. I've had a couple nightmares too. Um, I've had more than a few episodes of sleep paralysis. Those are scary as shit. um, I know there's a couple of those kind of dreams when I had sleep paralysis that I'd never mentioned to anybody because they terrify me, and I don't feel like I should bring that up, kind of thing. A couple in particular, I can because on the best night when sleep paralysis happens, I know that I can't move, and I can look at a corner and just be like, "Someone's watching me. Someone's definitely watching me right now." Especially enough, it hasn't happened when I moved into here. Uh, when I moved into here, I've had projections. Like I was able to leave my body, but whew, I don't want to. um, I'd rather just stay inside my head because um, this building has a weird history behind it, and I don't know what it is, but I don't think it's haunted. But I think there's more. Uh, I think there's more people here than that's what's paying rent, and those people aren't alive. There's spirits here, and they don't bother me. I feel like I can sense something. And I'm not even an expert or anything like that, but I haven't noticed that there's been like a big fucking shift within my dreams. Like I said, I've done this for a very long time. So now, do I feel afraid whenever I'm here? Do I hear voices? No, I don't. It could be my mind just playing a little bit of a trick or two on my ass, but there's no foul play, you know. Otherwise, I would know that. But kind of rambling on. But some people be like, "Oh man, are you going crazy?" No, I don't think so. Not really, anyway. Um, I do believe in an afterlife. Tell you that much. You can be a realist all you want, but and perhaps people who are just believing like straight up science, perhaps they're right, but I don't know. Like, because I've visited like legit like quote unquote haunted places that claim to be haunted, and yeah, I felt a lot of I felt the presence of evil before. You know what I mean? So it's like a I don't know if I would even call it a spirit, but if you visit like a place that like had like a dark history, you can kind of feel a chill, and you don't know what it is. And I think that's probably what makes people think that like, oh, this place is haunted. Probably because there's been some fucked up shit that happened in the area. You know, it could be that your mind's playing tricks on you, and you did some research, and you decided to visit him. Like, oh god, I hear something. And it could have just been the wind that blows within the air, or is it? You know, that's what the kind of things that your mind plays tricks on you. All I can say for full frontal, for me, I know what's been ahead of me, and I know how to look into history, and I know my weird ass dreams are fucking weird. But it's even weirder because I remember them. The majority of them anyway. So that's weird. Like, it's gotten to the point where I can remember. Um, I don't like this song. That was just cool, but nope. I can remember dreams and stuff like that. But you know, that's pretty much it. I've been to a couple haunted places before, to the point where like I don't know, man. I don't know if ghosts exist or not. But it could be like a figment of imagination. It could be they're real. Who knows? I like the song right turn it up. Oh boy. No. Yeah, there you go. Oh, cheers, Sean. As dangerous goes, oh, take. Fucking. I can't skip this song. I kinda want to because it's more like a serious one, but I love it because it reminds me when I was a kid. I'm gonna have a couple more beers and hang out, listen to music. If you wanna pop up, have a drink, I'm cool with that. I got this bullshit right here, and then this bullshit right here. I've already had a few, but I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty chilling. How's your New Year's, bud? Nothing's too clear. You walk like a newborn deer. Right now, I'm just like riding the wave of the last one I had just for a bit, and then I can look at it. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to take the last one. Schmokin', cool. It's funny because so and I were talking a little bit earlier on another platform, and shout out to Kangaroo Jack, by the way. Uh, I was talking about, no, man, I'm tired of these. Like, yes, I understood what you were smoking, and I was like, oh man, I'm tired of trying to date any of these California chicks because they're just fucking obnoxious. And he was like, yeah, but I mean, like, chicks are girls. I mean, you're not gonna meet. It's not gonna be green on the other side. I'm like, well, technically, if you want to be smart with me, I'll be smart back. I moved from California to Washington. Technically, the grass in Washington's greener, so duh. He's like he's like starts busting up because he knows me like hella obnoxious intentionally, but like in a fun way. He's like, "Oh, you do whoa, you're so smart." I'm like, and he said, "Next thing you're gonna teach me how to grow some THC and CBD." I'm like, "Nah, that's your department. I don't fucking know anything about that. You know that. I don't shit about weed. I know dick all." That was funny as hell. It's like, due to climate and how climate works, because how the world turns, the grass is greener over there too. Yeah, I'm in California uh, with Wally and Ghostface. Yep, been in California my whole life. The only time I've been out was I spent 2 weeks in Canada and in Ottawa, the Quebec closer area, and oh, Nyron is pretty cool. We're gonna pause this for a second. Um, but yeah, other than being in Ottawa for like 2 weeks, which I kind of want to go back. Not gonna lie, just another vacation thing. But yeah, most of my life has been California, and then I spent 2 nights before in in Reno, Nevada. But other than that, total Californian, like low end. Um, we didn't we grew up pretty poor, but we didn't grow up necessarily like poor poor. Like we still had a house, bills were being paid. There's no money coming in, but you know, no savings saved up or anything like that. But it was an okay childhood, I would say. I mean, I wasn't mad at it, but yeah. Then I got to experience like the higher end of California because of the friends I made and stuff like that, and they were like, "Oh, hey, so you can do this too. So this is how this works." And that's when they taught me about like how to manage money and stuff like that. Which half the time I paid attention, half the time I didn't, obviously, because right now you know, I invested my time and I guess what I want to say is I invested my time and my finances into me continuing to learn about the ways of how California cooks cook. And in other words, I partied a lot. So um, uh, now that I'm past that, when it comes to cooking and stuff like that, um, now it's more straight business. So now I'm in the area to where it's like, yeah, I'm here to cook and throw down. No, I don't want to. I don't mind grabbing a beer with a coworker, but Uh, other than that, I'm not because cooks are fucking party fucking animals. No matter where you go. But culinary, yep, culinary workers. Here's the thing, and I stand by this because I read this quote, and this quote's from Gordon Falcon Ramsay, and Gordon Ramsay's known to be like a bit. No, he's an asshole. He can be. Uh, but that's not from the eyes of another cook. That's from the eyes of like the general populace. And I think Gordon Ramsay understands how other cooks can act, and I think he knows when people are bullshitting him. Because if you watch Hell's Kitchen and if you watch all of his shows, he is calling these people out, and he's right in 95% of the ways that he's saying that they're fucking up. Yeah, you're damn right. They're fucking up. So worked at the corner bakery. The corner bakery sounds pretty relaxing, man. It depends what kind of bakery too, because you go into work, and so my job prior to this next one coming up, um, I had to do some baking techniques for like desserts and stuff like that. Pretty minor stuff, but I can imagine like going and baking like uh, in bulk, and make sure everything's ready to go. I can imagine that pretty relaxing if especially if you know what you're doing like on the spot. Because like, yeah, I'm gonna go into work and I'm gonna fucking make some pastries and stuff like that. I can imagine that being pretty fucking relaxing if your body's willing to wake up at that kind of hour. I think when I lived in the last town I lived in, I'm not gonna say the name of it. There was this huge breakfast spot, and they did breakfast, they did pastries, they did cakes on the side and stuff like that. For because they did mainly breakfast, no dinner, and they did a lunch and a brunch, and they always had like donuts, cakes, and stuff like that. That always pops off. Um, I don't know. Most was frozen. Okay, well, yeah, then that's fucking that's a cakewalk. Because if it's frozen, then it comes with instructions like, yeah, just pop it in there and make sure it doesn't fucking burn. When I did it, I did uh, I did from the box, and how mine was is that I worked at a dietary area, um, whereas I was a dietitian cook, and my shift was make sure everyone gets fit for dinner, make sure once you get everything organized, make sure there's like a dessert tray for tomorrow's lunch. So they got dessert twice. Like these patients are eating better than me, and I'm just like, oh, that sucks. You know what I mean? So, um, where there's like a cake, or like a sweetened cornbread, and I think one time like I had it pretty easy, and all I had to do was like throw some. It was like no, it wasn't the fish. If I remember correctly, most people didn't like fish. It was like a chicken. It was a chicken breast dinner plate, and all I had to do was throw the chicken into the oven, slow cook it, and marinate it. And I forgot what the fuck it was. It was like an Italian chicken plate with no pasta. And um, prior to getting that prepped, this is one of the easier nights. I had to make it like a Jello, and that was it. But there's also other nights to where like because I had to follow, I didn't get to choose what I had to cook for them. I had to follow a plan by the month, and there was this one plate of I swear to God, it was. the most bullshit thing I've ever read in my goddamn life. Um, it was a Jello lime, yeah, I believe so, and it was a lime gelatin, Mexican lime gelatin. It wasn't like the Jello stuff, but still, it was like, who gets dessert twice, you know? But with people going through different things when they have to follow a certain diet, then yes, it makes sense at that point. But uh, I already knew like half the patients sitting there in those rooms, they didn't need that. But there's a lot of picky eaters there, and I'm like, oh well, what drove me nuts is that, and I made this argument, and but it's an argument they already fucking knew. My thing was, it's like as soon as I got into there, about like 2 weeks after, I'm like, why are people being patients arguing about what they should and shouldn't eat? This is a dietitian. This is dietary hospital facility, right? So why the fuck are they arguing? Like, if you're told being told what to consume by a doctor, you shut your mouth and you fucking intake it. Like, for example, we had issues with people who were going through uh, tissues. Like they suffered a gunshot wound or something like that, and they're like, oh well, I mean, bones hurt, so we bought these you know protein shakes, and sure, and then we, no pun intended, uh, got them shored by the higher ups, because they're like, yeah, I mean, if they're hurting, they need the calcium to re-heal their bodies, so I mean, they should drink this. I'll buy them whatever, regular or milk chocolate. And they're like, oh, I don't want to eat that. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, it's kind of like trying to teach an infant, but that infant's also like 40 plus years old. It sucked, and I hated everything about it, because I was there, like, I wanted to help, and my God, if I can't work at a place when the other people who are in dire need of some sort of nutrients, and I've talked with every single patient there, and they're like, "Oh, well, I like this, I like this." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's fine." I've talked with a couple of patients who are just, "Yeah, I just want a chicken quesadilla for lunch and dinner, and I don't need desserts." Okay, cool. I mean, if that's what you want to eat, I'll feed it to you, and but just listen to your nurse or whatever the fuck, and cool. Let's get you on your way. But man, there's this one asshole. His name was Peacock. His actual name was not Peacock. That's the kind of asshole he is. Uh, he had a real name, but I didn't. I never learned it. I just knew his name was fucking Peacock, and he would get food ordered to the hospital from him from his family, and he's treating his family like shit because he was just like, "This hospital food sucks. Everything sucks. Everything sucks." Essentially, he was being a fucking bit of a crybaby, and eventually he started eating stuff again. And I talked with him, and he was just like, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you." I'm like, "Well, why? Why do you feel like that?" "'Cause this hospital sucks. Everything sucks." I'm like, "Okay." I have nothing to do with it. I just started me here, bud. I'm just trying to figure out where your head's at. Just told you. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? So, um, I cannot tell somebody how to think when it comes to what they should consume and what they can't consume. I can tell them being a fucking child, but uh, once they're explained, like, yeah, I mean, increases calcium, increases iron. Calcium is the main thing, like especially if you're taking like a gunshot to the leg. That's what you need to consume because calcium is going to help your bones regrow. I mean, it's not going to fix it completely, but fucking at least down it, you know? Like fuck, man. Like most of us when we were in our early 20s, we down alcohol no problem. What's the fucking problem with a fucking protein shake? Well, how is that disgusting compared to a fucking cocktail? You know, it's just dumb shit. I gotta take a piss, and then we'll have a couple more, and then we'll see. It's definitely annoying. Because I don't foresee it. You know, I don't. So all I can do personally is to figure out a way and figure out something and figure out a way to live the life I want to and re-earn the respect. You know what I mean? That's all it really takes. Uh, that aside, who gives a shit? You know, ain't gonna be the one to give up or think, oh, I'm gonna get sad over something. No, I guess I just want to be happy again. Um, if I had to be put into perspective, essentially, I've been on the road for about almost 3 years now, and this is where I get a little bit touchy, a little bit feely, and I get that. Um, Prior to that, I had a home that I was able to call home for about 8 years, and I get I get the fact that at times that during those 8 years, that was around the time when you know I went through a breakup and kind of lost my mind a little bit. Let's be known, we're roommates with somebody for about 5 plus 6 plus years, and they go through a breakup. When I went through it, I remember I was sitting somewhere within my room. I think I was like sitting next door, and I cried, you know, because I stopped kind of caring a little bit. And then, you know, this room was like, "Oh, we don't care. We don't give a shit about your bullshit. Just shut the fuck up." I'm like, what kind of terrible person says that? After 6 years of friendship, I mean, that blew the fuck out of my mind. So, things are ever since about 5 plus years ago. Although I've showcased otherwise, things haven't been necessarily being going my way, and I understand that. And I have a weird way for showcasing any some sort of comfort because, like, once I do, it's just I don't think like anybody else. I just don't, and it does make me special. It makes me different, and it's weird to think about because I don't necessarily like being different. I kind of wish that I would like to think like people who I would consider normal. But trust me, no, I ain't normal. I'm fickle. I'm kind of like a mad scientist. Um, like I look around, I see these magic cards I just bought recently. I see you know the cans I left for yesteryear. I'm weird, and I don't know anymore. I don't know necessarily if I'm an alcoholic. I think I'm just strange. And because, like, check it out, for example. Here's this. Here's this. I've done this plenty of times. We'll go by thirds just to make it last a little bit more. So when I pour, I know exactly how much my hand is doing. It's about there right there. Because I can feel the weight. Same thing with this. It's not so much, actually. I just have to do it for my eyes. That's actually a little bit more than a third. Regardless. I just like say something like with the mez, I could say sake bomb. I think about sushi. I want to measure stuff out like that. I can go into whatever. You know. That's probably like the best bet for me to do from now on. Like in the future, not even just like tonight. Because that seemed like they went out pretty well. It's just like a small, try not to push yourself kind of thing. When I first went to here, I was pushing myself to the brink. And every time as well, just kind of get sick. And I don't like doing that. Last time I got sick, and I still have the keyboard over here. You know, breaking the keyboard. The keyboard's not actually broken like physically, but like inside, yeah, it's dunzo. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I had to look myself like things. It is what it is, you know. And saying it is what it is very vague. Um, but you gotta push, you know. Be the best version of yourself. And I believe in that. So I guess this is becoming a little bit more of a vlog now because I wish I've been took how much I've thought, you know, everything that went to that in my mind. A lot of dark things have happened, you know, to me, and some of it's my fault. I mean, definitely is. I think so. You know, and I have to atone myself. I have to atone myself for that. I can honestly also say, um, the majority of the things that happened to me, I could take about maybe like 20% of the blame for. There have been times that I've been a piece of shit. Um, my best friend, you know, honestly, he is my best friend. He's the one that's stuck by to me, and um, ironically, he's the friend that he loves my company unless if I drink. So, uh, other than that, he's just like, "You're cool as shit. Just don't drink around me." You know what I mean? So, uh, and I figured out why. It wasn't just because of me. It was because of also, you know, his father was an alcoholic, like a raging fucker, and but his father's also sober for about 20 plus years, so um, he has an issue with it. So I mean, like, yeah, Can make sense. Then the other friend, uh, you know what? I could just put on the songs. Perhaps. I'm also feeling it too. So my shortly after high school, actually, two of my really close friends going through middle school and high school, um, they went through doing they performed a band. They formed a band, and then they decided to get my intake on it. Back then, I didn't know. I really didn't know what to say about it because uh, I didn't want to. I didn't want to shit on their parade. you know, I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, this sounds really cool," but it's it was when I talked with other people about it. The only cool thing about that band was the guitar solos. That was it, and that was from my main best friend, and he and I don't talk anymore. There's a story behind that, and I guess perhaps well, there's no like botching. Perhaps I should just tell the story behind that one and what happened. Um, so just had to slowly go into the conversation. He and I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not going to mention his name or anybody involved because that's fucking stupid. Don't do that. Uh, he and I were friends since we were 9 to 10. So, counting the years, it would have been like 20, 25 years now. Except for the fact that that never happened. Um, during middle school and at the beginning of high school, we got on tremendously. And what happened is that we started getting into card games and we started getting a little bit competitive towards one another. Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh were very close, and I think we even only got along when we would play D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, because his dad was into it, and uh, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go fucking, just gonna go warrior. Fuck it, I don't know enough. Um, I don't know enough of what's going on, and I know enough to have to build a character because I did that because back in the day you can build a character throughout like the PS2 games, PS1 games, and stuff like that. And I knew how to do that, but like that was not my forte. And it was his. He liked doing that. But whenever he would play Magic the Gathering with me, and when he would get pissed off and become a hothead, I'm like, come on, like why? You know what I mean? So um, there was one night in particular. I was at my childhood home, and another friend of ours decided to bring the party to my home, and I don't know how the fuck that one happened because I didn't approve of it. I think my younger brother did, and and there was this one girl that showed up, and I was like, I'm not partying like that tonight, and at all, because that was that. I had my 21st birthday, and at that time, I didn't drink again until I was like 23. So, because that 21st birthday was a fucking riot. It was fun, but it was a riot. So, um, yeah, and so there was this one girl. She was around my age at the time. I think probably like 22, I would say, or something like that. Uh, Actually, I don't. No, that's wrong. No, that's right. No, that's wrong. She was 19 and drinking at the house, and I wasn't drinking at all at the time. I can kind of like tell that she was drinking because we ended up making out. That's right. And I just told her straight up, "That's fun, but think, I don't think you're the one for me," kind of thing. No, no. Um, yeah, no. And my buddy at the time, my best friend at the time, he was going through a breakup and stuff. Or no, he was going through a preteen thing. Not a preteen thing. I just like to roll the tongue. He was going to a teenager thing, and he's like, you know what? I've been with this girl for like 2 years. We haven't had sex, stuff like that. I'm tired of it. I'm like, well, I mean, it's this other girl. I mean, go for it. I think what happened is that he wanted something different, and it's really hard to tell behind closed doors. But he wanted something different at the time, and he just went with it. And whether he wants to admit to it or not, at times she brought the best out of him. But there was also another time, and I remember this very, very well. Uh, he wanted to uh, get drunk. It was kind of out of nowhere because he was not like that. And we got this whiskey, and that was called. It's kind of like me trying to recollect myself, but we got this whiskey called the Knot. And if you know what the Knot is, bless your heart, because and when people say bless your heart, by the way, in the Middle East, or not in the Middle East, but like in the country region of the United States, bless your heart means you're an idiot. You're not an idiot for knowing this one. In fact, you're pretty smart for not even looking this up. What the Knot is, it's Irish whiskey, and the knot is kind of like the knot of like a wedding ring. So you get married to this bottle of whiskey, and this whiskey was an Irish whiskey at 50%, and a couple young bunks going at that. Hell fucking no. It was the worst. The worst idea. For me especially, because like I was not able to hold that in, and then uh my friend at the time, he was, and but the next time he woke up, I was like, "Hey, so I'm gonna go to my other friend's house, which is right down the street from you. I know you're gonna go to work." And I told him, "I know we're going to work, but it's right down from the street from there. Okay, you just take me as if you're going to work, and then lock your car, and I can just walk down to his place." He's like, "Oh yeah, sure, that's cool. We can do that." I'm like, "Cool, great, thanks." And and he was like talking to me and was like, "Man, I can't believe I did that." But he went to work. But I mean, like, he was fucking throwing up right in the fucking parking lot of his own job, being sick. And I'm like, "You sure?" He was like, "No, I gotta do it. It's only a 4 hour shift." I'm like, back then I was like, "Yeah, all right." Now I'll be like, "Yeah, it's only a 4 hour shift," but Jesus, man, like, fuck. But, you know, kids be kids, you know. Whether you think you're 21, 22, you're still a kid. So, I mean, anyway. That leads me to another piss break. We'll see how I feel once I get back, and then probably end it. I should kind of change my mind about that for a second. Right. Okay. Like other guys, doesn't see you since your whole life. Sunday, drink a couple of tonight, see the movie. You just never know. Still the try the 13th and inside the close. The moonlight, straight a fun idea. See when you're here. Let's see the shine at night. Sunny and the neon streets, sacking and train lights. Victor looks like a fuckboy tonight. There's for words, drink some coffee. There's nice and chilling with your family. You hold hands, dance silently. Shoot cocaine into my eyes and like a murder ray. Oh, sick. I know exactly what I'm doing. Young and alive. Sick. So what Black Rose does is that if I get 3, I get to summon a Chain Scion. Freed after 5 casts from Black Rose into those. So these 2 are Black Roses right here. So if I get 1 more, and we see here, the next one would be a 3rd tier, which I don't have access to yet. But, however, however, yes, this works. So you say you back to perfect alibi. Another. I have no use for this. Some use for that scapegoat. No. Category 5, maybe. Actually, you know what? Let's do this, level up. Get that benefit right here. We'll teach you how to do that in a second. Because I think I can make 2 of these. Shoot extra. Yeah. Yeah. Eat my pre, dude. So, initially, fires a bolt at a nearby enemy 55% attack damage as physical damage. But this shoots an extra bolt. So I have like 4 bolts going out. So essentially, what this does, what Conqueror does, it's like a Conquer Conquest. And then what happens there is that I get stacks on here, and this gives me additional per kill that this guy's gonna get. So I am a dunking on him, essentially. Okay. Like, okay. And I got the Watcher here, but if I give him Pit Fighter, so the guy has Pit Fighter, which gets true damage. So if I switch over here for now, because I don't need that yet, I just need stacks here so I can get more gold. See what I mean? Because each kill that he gets or Darius gets over here, which Darius is like he's just being a tank. Okay, that was just too fucking easy. Like they didn't do fucking dick all. And this I can just let sit. And from here I can just go you'll see. I can get that sign that I was mentioning earlier, and then yeah, so 6 out of 10. What's gonna happen is I'm gonna get 2 extra gold, and then yeah, yeah, he's dicked. There's just too much damage going on. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, 2,200 damage from that area of fucking whatever. That's too much. I could have sworn I had another bit more. Oh no, never mind. Oh, you're right. And from here, so how this works is that if you get first or up here, you're the last in the pecking order to get whatever item. I have to look at it like, okay, so I got a giant spell, so I have to look up what they're gonna pick. You don't necessarily look at the champion, so look at the items and see what you can do with it. If this giant spell doesn't work with any item that I'm able to pick, then I can just say, okay, well, what about in the future? That would be it right there. And all I can do right now is just let it sit. So the option is I can buy more experience for 4 gold, which I have 23, or you roll for more, like a different reroll of champions. No reason. Absolutely none. Even after that, I suck at stacks. I don't mind losing that. Why? Why would I? He's tryharding over here. Myself's gonna plan that out. Boom. What does this item do? Heals allies with the heads with 15% of their missing health every 5 seconds, resulting in 10% durability for 5 seconds. What do you think, Vision? Well, not Visionary, but I was able to level up twice. Now they're fucked. Because Conquer goes up from getting like 1 conquest to like 3 times conquest every kill I get. I don't get why people play like this. Do I have to reroll? Nope. Hell, I can deviate away from getting Black Rose too. Depending on what items I get here, though. So I got that. Tear of the Goddess. That's champion, which I'm never gonna need. So rude. Um, that's actually kind of tough. Can I roll into a level 3? That's gonna be a hard no. But that team's far weaker. I thought it was. Never mind. Fuck me and the. That might. That might be. That might be cool. Wait. No, it's not. Oh boy. What a sucker. Welcome to my kingdom of Slam-A-Lot. Oh, weenie.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet. Come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous women's feet? There's no need to panic. This isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be bursting with rage. We got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet. Put your cares aside. Here's a tip for strangers pasta. Here's a 9-year-old who died. We got movies and doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter fucking each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks, cause the random guy just kindly sent you photos of his cock. They are grainy and off-putting. He just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore.
Oh, come.
Get offended, see us break. Show us pictures of your children. Tell us every thought you think. Start a rumor, buy a broomer, send a death threat to a boomer, or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor in your. Here's a healthy breakfast option. You should kill your mom. Here's why women never fuck you. Here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. You know, it wasn't always like this. Not very long ago, just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99. This was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two. We set our sights, spent our nights waiting for you. Insatiable you. Mommy
There we go.
loved
Yep.
you
There we go.
like I had to. You were barely two. And it
Oh,
did all the things we designed it to do. Now look at you. You, unstoppable, watchable. Your time is now. Your insides out, honey. How you grew, and if we stick together, who knows what we'll do? It was always the plan to put the world in your Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? Little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything and anything and everything and anything and everything and all of the time.
Okay, come on, man.
Do not turn your back on me.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Eat my pre, dude.
Try to die with dignity.
I don't get why I'm losing here. I lost. Fuck.